Man, aren't you guys sick of living through historical events?
Hate it.
Always.
What
What?
donut did you choose over there?
Normal.
Normal.
Yeah, just a
Normal?
classic glaze.
Glaze.
Classic.
Normal.
I feel that a donut choice says a lot about a person.
Yeah, it does.
I like a classic.
Yeah. Maple
Such a
bar
bold
myself.
move.
I used to be a diehard maple bar,
Yeah.
but then I'd made the switch to crawlers because they're so light and fluffy.
Crawlers, it's
What's
good.
that?
It's the one that's like it's in a circle, but it's like a spirally. And
It's like
really
a
fluffy.
It's like a twisty Cheeto.
Yeah.
You know the one.
You know the one.
but it's in a ring.
Isn't it
like-
just glazed?
no,
but it's
twisty.
But it's twisty and in a
Okay.
circle. It's
John?
very, very fluffy.
Bear Claw.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, probably Bear Claw. I don't know if I know Bear Claws are technically donuts. I guess I'm thinking apple fritter, but apple fritter like doesn't really feel like a donut to me because it's not like traditional like
It's a little
light
more
and airy in
fritter.
the center. It's like really dense.
Right.
But yeah, I would say if I have donuts every Sunday because church we have them, and I always go for like the
Classic.
thicker cake donuts because I'm just like I haven't eaten anything all morning usually by that point, and I've like it's been like 5 hours since I got up and.
You're just
I like the
crushing
cake
donuts.
donut
And I
with
just have
coconut on
I just
top.
go for the most
Oh, that
like
is good.
I don't know filling I guess.
Yeah. Well, we've got a pretty dense show for you today.
Wow, that's
so
good. That was
let's
good.
get right into it. Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are
Ryan and John.
kind of fighting the raspy, low, sexy voice
Oh, I
today.
thought you were just
so-
doing something new.
No,
you're
no.
actually sick.
I had a couple of things going on this weekend, but we'll get to that.
Got it.
On the couch as always, Kara Tafoya.
Yes.
And Annie the Scope Scopeman is out. But we do
Out.
have probably our most frequent reoccurring guest on this show.
Yeah,
I was just
I'd
thinking
say
about
so.
it.
I'd say so.
You're probably 5 out of 4.
Wow.
So please welcome the lovely Michael the Pin Pinning.
Michael the Pinning.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Always good to have you, Michael. Big week for you, man.
Big week.
Yeah, we've got some new music coming out from a young Michael Pinning.
Yeah.
We've got a single dropping this Friday.
Yes, sir.
July 19th.
It's happening.
Title of Butterflies.
That's the one.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. I'm really excited about this. This one, I made a trip out to Nashville to see my friend Levi last year, and we created some magic with a few songs, and this is one of those. And it's been like 10 months since we wrote that and finished it. So I'm really excited to finally put it out. And it's just like a fun, summery pop tune about love and happy times.
So you've been sitting on this one. You've been
yeah. Oh,
just
it's
waiting
been a minute.
What makes this the right moment to release it?
I had some other stuff. It was like I had all these songs that were finished. I think I had like 2 or 3 other ones that I was sitting on as well, and it was just like timing of everything. Like, when do I want this one, and what's the season like? How are people going to receive it? And I felt like I need a summer song, and this just felt right. You know?
I love it, man. I have heard the song. I've even played in the Michael Pinning band.
You have.
Yeah, you're
A few
you're frequent
times.
in the Michael Pinning
I,
band.
yeah, I
You are the Michael Pinning band, or
well,
Well,
I
yeah.
would. Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing the release show, but
yeah.
not to put a damper on it, I will say this weekend, if you're free, July 19th, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What time's the show at?
6.
Doors open at 5.
Doors are 5,
Show starts at 6:30. So there's plenty of time to get there after work.
and it's at Surge Coffee.
That's
What
correct.
part of town's that in?
That's in El Cajon on Main Street. Surje. Is how they spell
Love
that
it.
one.
Love
We've
it.
got a
Surge
little
Coffee.
single release show.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be a blast. Seats are limited, so
Oh,
Seats
dang.
are
Get the
limited.
tickets
Get in there.
now. Get them while they're hot. We're going to hear the new one, Butterflies. We're going to hear a couple other new ones. I'm
we will.
imagining.
We'll hear 1 or 2 newer ones that aren't released yet, and then I've got a handful of the classics that we're gonna be
Nice,
playing.
man.
Okay.
Love
Yeah.
the classics. John,
I love the classics. I'm
off
a
the
huge fan of
dome,
classics.
favorite Michael Pinning song.
I was just thinking about it. The Music Maker song is pretty good.
Oh, that one's been. It's been a while since
It's been
I
a
played
while,
that
but
one.
but also I like all your stuff for the most part. Like what you made in the COVID era too was so powerful. I thought a lot of that, what came out of that like season was really cool too. But
Thank you.
yeah, I think you did this. You told us about it, and I think you actually were here on this podcast. You said you were doing like kind of this testing period where you were like trying stuff that was outside of your norm and then releasing it and just seeing how it was received from your friends and family and audience and then I think you really locked in this next season coming out of that, I think. But I could be
I would
wrong.
agree.
How do you feel?
No, I would totally agree with that sentiment because there has been a lot of like throwing the spaghetti at the wall type stuff, and I found some really cool. I don't know. Feels magical with these people I'm working with right now. That it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we finally found what sound I want it to be, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep going down that road.
The spaghetti is stuck now.
It's stuck. It's
because
fully stuck.
It was
It's
al
great.
dente.
Yes.
But now it's sticking to the wall.
Truly.
Yeah.
I love going back, listening to some of Michael's first album.
Yeah. Did I try? No, wait. That wasn't the third one.
That was the first one.
That was the first album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Personal favorite, Room Beneath the Sheets.
That's everyone's favorite.
Wow.
I love that song.
Yeah. Sexy. Sexy.
Back in the day, it was called the Monkey Song.
It was. Really?
Actually, wait, was that the Monkey Song or
Was it? No, that was These Walls was the Monkey Song.
classic? Just
Yeah.
classic.
Love it.
Yeah.
You know, the
Kara,
working
what do you
titles.
think? Come on. Jump in here.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Yes.
That one.
That was nice.
great.
Whoa.
I
crushed
Can we get you
it.
on the vocals on the next track?
No, I have work until like
BGVs.
10:30 on Friday.
Oh,
Pissed. I'm pissed.
Really?
It's all right.
Wow.
dang it.
Be the world of the
Well,
sea.
anyways, I'm really stoked for that show. That's
I'm gonna
be a
be
good
there
one.
on Friday, so
John's gonna be
I'll
there.
report.
Will you live stream
Thank
it?
you.
I'll report back. I can't commit to live streaming it, but I will do my best.
Can you send me like some short videos?
Oh, 100%. I'll
Perhaps?
send you short
We'll
videos
definitely have
for
some
sure.
clips. We'll have some clips
Oh,
for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know if like we can live stream it technically, just 'cause
Probably not.
You're copyrighted, and you'll probably come after us. If we
I
do
probably
it.
will.
So,
Yeah. My lawyers will contact your
Pretty
lawyers.
crazy
and-
team they got over there.
So
Yeah,
you're in this
yeah, yeah.
new magical season where
Yes.
the pieces are just kind of coming together. You're writing new music. What sets this kind of Michael season apart from like previous
He
iterations
prepared.
of the album?
Ryan prepared for today.
Ooh,
Look
yeah,
at
he
I'm,
him.
really
I'm
did.
really trying to do this thing where we do like a podcast.
Oh.
Where we're kind of
Oh, is that
asking,
what you're doing?
we're
you know,
recording this?
interesting questions. Maybe it's a little compelling to
I
the
got some
audience.
cuts.
Oh.
I got some
I
cuts.
know.
Okay, yeah, we should make some cuts. What sets this apart? I would say there.
And you can extend it to what sets this season apart and like the oncoming, like you're writing new music, like what can you just like define that,
Yes.
quantify it for us?
Yeah, I think with like as far as the sound of what I'm creating these days, it's
Yeah.
very much like moved from what I think it should sound like to just what I having fun writing and like what I like, and if I like how it sounds, then that's what we're gonna do. And I'm not too worried about like the rules or what's popular or this, and that's been really freeing. And then I would say there's a little more honesty coming through this season where it's like there's one song in particular that's coming out in end of August, and it came out of this like, oh, I'm just gonna write a really honest, heartbreaking song.
Sure.
And then but I still wrote the chorus this way that I'm like, well, I don't want to be like too
Obvious.
honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too honest. That's like that would be
Crazy.
really sad.
Yeah.
And then I showed it to my producer Levi, and he was like, "Yeah, that chorus isn't hitting." Like, and I was like, "Well, here's like the first draft when I was really like upset and sad and angry." And he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna say exactly that."
Oh wow.
And I'm like, I'm scared to say that.
That's
He's like,
better.
"No, that's really good." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So it's rough, but
Yeah.
that's the one I've probably been the most nervous about releasing. Like, I don't talk about it just because
Sure.
I'm like, I have to start promoting that in like 4 weeks, and I'm
Wow.
terrified.
Now you and you've been on your promotion game lately.
Yes,
I've been
you
seeing
have.
your what is this day 7 or 8
Today will
of
be
posting
day 7.
every day
Today will be day 7
on the day of this recording.
on the day of
By
this
the time this
recording.
comes out, it'll probably be like
Be
day
like,
9, day
yeah,
10.
9 or 10.
I love it, man.
It's been. I hate self promotion, and
Yeah.
I feel like such a goober, just being like, "Hey, look at me,"
Yeah.
but you got to do it.
Listen to this song, like
Yeah.
that I wrote. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is an inherent that going on.
Very
But-
much.
But it is. We had this conversation recently. Like the people that are super successful in their own like, you know, promotion and social media management. Like
Yeah.
they're doing it unapologetically, and like it's happening. It like
The only
it
people
works.
that are annoying are the people who aren't good.
Well, I feel
Right.
that people that aren't genuine.
Talented.
If you're posting and it's kind of like not coming from the heart, I feel that people can tell that, and I can feel it coming from your heart.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, like I often think about that. Like success sometimes is tied to just like being the guy that talks about his stuff all the time. You know, like when you start a business or you start a new project, like you have to talk about it. You know, and when we started this show like almost 4 years ago, it was like people like if we just had in every like hangout we had and family party, you know, it was like we were just talking about like, oh yeah, we're doing this new thing, and I think
Yeah.
that's just what kind of gets people to it, and then people
And you
stay.
do like kind of bear yourself. You have to
Yes.
like put your neck out for
It's
this
so
thing.
awkward, and I've said this too. That's the reason that I would love to do more like social content and more like YouTube stuff, but it's like there's that inherent fear of like I don't want to come off as like the guy who's like constantly pushing his stuff, but I also admire that in other people. So I don't know why there's a brain block.
Oh my
there.
gosh. Yeah, I'm so the same way.
Yeah, like, I see you doing
Yeah.
it. I'm like, dude, it's awesome. Like well, one, you have good music, and that's
Thank
a part of it, I think too. But you're out there like posting every day. I'm like, dang, he is grinding. Like
Yeah.
I respect that, you know.
Totally.
And then, but then when it comes to like me thinking about doing it, I'm like, oh gosh, people are gonna think like you know, and that's none of that's true. It's your my own brain, but you
Well,
know.
and it's a big like liking something and like showing a part of you is like, you know, it's naturally what's the word I'm looking for?
Vulnerable?
Like you're making yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so it would be very easy for somebody to come along and be like, that's stupid, you're stupid, I don't agree with you, bad song.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
bad
Totally.
video.
Totally.
Yeah.
But in hopes that, okay, well, this little piece of my heart is going to connect with somebody else, an
worth it.
audience, even if it's one person across the, you know, the webverse.
The Webverse, yeah.
Yeah.
Read. I love
That's
that.
the dream.
True.
Wow.
So, how did this release party like come about? Like, I know
good
you release songs. Not, I mean, a little bit more infrequent lately, but you do release songs probably at least once over a couple of months. Why a release party for this one?
So I played a show with my friend Sierra at this coffee shop. They were they're getting ready to release some music, so they previewed their entire EP, and they invited me to be a part of the band and then open for them, and it was super fun. So I got to know the people at this coffee shop, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you do your own thing here." And I was like, "Well,
Awesome.
I've got a single coming out. Why don't we line it up around the same time?" So
Whoa, okay.
just kind of all fell into place. Pretty great.
Connections, just like that happened.
Absolutely.
That way. I love
Pieces are just coming
Mm-hmm.
into
You're right.
place,
You
man.
were so right, Ryan. They are coming into place.
Oh yeah.
Carrie, you got any questions for Ryan for Michael over there? Not
Yeah,
Ryan.
anything you want to
Ryan.
ask me,
I'm
just
looking
let
at
it
the
rip.
coffee shop.
Surge.
Oh, yeah.
Surge.
I was too. It's
I
pretty
did
cool.
start
It's
following
pretty
them on
cool.
Instagram.
They're pretty new.
I've only seen like one other coffee shop on Main Street,
Yeah.
and
With
I
weird
can't remember
spelling.
what it's called.
They do like really fun,
Starbucks.
like cocktail
Yeah.
type coffee drinks.
Oh, wow.
Where it's like, here's a coffee drink that's inspired by like an old fashioned, and it's
Oh,
fantastic.
that's
So they really
right up my
get
alley.
into like,
Will they be serving coffee at this? Okay.
Coffee
yeah,
cocktails?
it's really good.
Get it.
Well, they'll have there's no alcohol in their coffee.
Sure, yeah,
but it's
sure.
like, you know,
I'm excited to
logo
try
is-
reminiscent of a cocktail.
Their
One of my
logo is
greatest
cute.
joys in life is trying a new coffee.
it's
Brand new
I gotta say
flavor,
they're
new
great.
something, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, but there
I
will
would
be
echo
a bar and food.
It's Armenian and Mexican owned.
Amazing.
My
And they're
people.
like a little art gallery too.
What's
Kara,
your-
that's like our people combined.
I know.
What's your Speaking of coffee, Michael, what's your current coffee order?
True.
I think we talked about this recently, didn't we? I mean us, but not Michael.
I think in real life we talked about it.
Probably.
Okay. I never know where the podcast starts.
I
and where
know.
we end.
And that's the hard
I'm gonna
part.
say oat milk latte.
Oh, milk latte.
Iced.
If there's any, ice these days.
Yeah.
I mean, of
Summertime,
course.
of
Once we
course.
hit like November, it'll probably go hot.
yeah.
Of course. Well,
Um,
yeah.
But then,
Winter.
you know, you never know.
I think I
Little
order a hot
PSL.
coffee, and it's always just a cappuccino, maybe twice a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Really?
think
That's
I
it.
ever do. But
No, it's always iced.
That's funny. I've been getting cappuccinos lately.
you
I'll get a
love hot
cappuccino.
Wow.
I'll
I
get a
know this about
cappuccino
you.
after like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
That is actually the perfect time
Yeah.
for a cappuccino. Late night diner
Yes.
is when I want a
Oh.
cappuccino.
Did you know in
Yes.
Europe
For
that's like
sure.
a huge no-no?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you mean?
Anytime after noon, if you're ordering a cappuccino, they immediately are like tourist, tourist, tourist.
Wait. What about like coffee? Can I get coffee afternoon? Those guys drink coffee all day long. The Europeans. I
Espresso
mean.
is probably different, but it's
Espresso.
cappuccinos.
You can get espresso.
Okay.
Kara,
that crazy?
current coffee order.
I don't really drink coffee.
What's your drink of
Yeah, you
choice?
switch.
Forgetting that.
Matcha.
Yeah, you worked at a coffee shop. Is that you don't? Have you never had?
I don't
much
think
coffee?
you've ever really been into coffee.
No.
Oh,
Really?
No, it's
Beyond-
more of like a
beyond like a
dessert or like a sweet
frappuccino.
treat.
Yeah.
okay.
But I did get a coffee order a couple months ago that I created, and it was from Starbucks. But it was a like 2-shot blonde latte with oat milk with a pump of macadamia nut syrup and
Yes.
strawberry cold foam.
That sounds fantastic.
It was
See, what the coffee world is doing
Delicious.
with cold foam these days is
It's
Barbaric.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
my
I
favorite
feel.
drink though.
I love it.
If they do
I-
it right and if they have the right kind of syrup for it, is the strawberry matcha.
I love
but it
it.
has
I'll
to
say
be
it
like
too.
A strawberry matcha
puree.
is good.
It can't be like fake strawberry.
Listen. I feel that we're in a cold foam arms race right now.
I
And
love cold foam.
we're not going to stop until the whole world is covered in cold foam.
This is how I knew we were in a weird season of cold foam. Is my brother-in-law Jake, who watches the show, he's like a black coffee guy, right? Like hot black coffee all the time, and that only even really started when he started like teaching and getting up early because he didn't
Yeah.
have coffee really in high school or college. But all of a sudden one day he rolls up to Starbucks, and I'm like, "What is that?" Like I have like what?
Got neon lights coming off of it.
It's
caramel cream cold foam?
It's salted nitro cold brew.
The salted
with
foam is
salted
so
caramel
So
cold foam.
good.
And the cold foam is what he likes.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
Because it's salted
It's ice cream.
vanilla foam and
Yeah.
it's so good.
He calls it he said like salted caramel jet fuel because it's like the cold foam. It's like
Yeah,
the
with the nitro.
cold brew. He's like,
Oh, this makes me so
So
excited for
awesome.
fall because I always get the salted cold foam on top of pumpkin
Oh yeah,
Pumpkin.
On top of the
So
PSL.
or on top of the pumpkin
good.
chai.
forgot about
So
Guys,
good. The
don't
pumpkin
even
chai.
don't even say the P
Pumpkin
word right
sorry,
now.
sorry.
so
Do
I
not
totally-
say the P word right
I
now.
forgot about it.
Sorry.
I'm fully in summer mode. Just
Sorry.
Do not-
Strawberry.
you guys,
Guys,
it's
Halloween
giving
decorations
Target right
are
now.
already
It's giving
at
Target.
Michael's.
God.
Let's go.
They're already at your house? Wow.
At Michael Penning's house.
Yeah,
I mean-
they're already up. They
me.
stay up.
They say
Um,
all year round.
Well,
They don't.
guys, happy Prime Day on the day of this
Prime Day.
recording.
Prime Day.
Prime Day.
Any
Prime
any
Day.
cheap shit you're gonna buy on Amazon for
Probably.
less money?
I have to find a
Absolutely
travel backpack, so
Oh,
True.
that'll happen.
John, I know you're on the Prime Day already.
You know, can I tell you something? The last 2 years, Prime Day has come. I mean, and I haven't looked today. I probably will buy something, but last 2 years at Prime Day, I just couldn't, like, it snuck up on me. I just
Yeah.
couldn't get prepared, and
Yeah.
then I thought, you do like the panic, like throw things in your cart, and then I'm sitting there going, is this really what I want?
I want
you know.
this?
And so the last 2 years, I haven't actually purchased on Prime Day, believe it or not. I got really overwhelmed, and I was like, I can't do this.
do we know if they're doing that thing that like Target does where
Yes.
they like
they fake the prices.
they
do.
They a week before bump up the prices a billion times, and then
Yeah.
Prime Day comes and they slash the prices in half.
very
But it's
much
actually
do.
how much they
I
are.
would say yes.
You can go online and do a price tracker for certain items. So if you're like, this is so cheap, I'm gonna buy this. Grab the price tracker, and most times, like a month before Prime Day, they bump it up.
I did see a
Whoa.
really good pair of Sony headphones for $45 instead of $95.
Are you in the market
And I was
for
like-
headphones?
No.
I honestly
She's
for
not.
for planes, yes. I love my AirPods for work and for all this stuff, but on the plane, they always fall out when I'm trying to sleep.
Kind of
and-
boxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that little
AirPods fall out, really?
Yeah, they fall out of my ear.
big ears,
I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
small ears.
And I have a problem with
Yeah, I do have
headphones
small ears.
where this part never is small enough. So I've tried the Apple Air Maxes. They're
Horrible.
too big on my head on the lowest on the setting.
The- yeah.
I've tried Beats. They're also I need like a little like pad right here to like fill the space.
How are those headphones doing for you
adjustable.
right now?
These are good.
Buy
Wait,
those.
the Apple Air Max are not adjustable?
They're too.
They are
They
adjustable.
are, but the smallest one. My ratio from the top of my head to my ear is tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
Small head, big ears, John.
No.
Got it. Heard it.
Big head, small ears.
Big and small ears. That's what they called me in high school.
Big head,
That's
big
true.
ears. Unfortunately. Well, I think we've beat it around the bush
killed it.
long enough. Guys, crazy shit over the weekend.
Yeah,
I would say, and
Nuts.
and I think
You're
by-
talking about lip sync?
I'm talking about lip sync.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
At this point, like everyone has dissected the whole. We're talking about the assassination attempt of a former
young-
president,
a young
former president Donald Trump. Yeah, and like I was saying, like by this point, it's been fully stretched out to its
Yeah, for sure. By the
We've
time-
analyzed the backstory of the guy that attempted it. We've seen every angle from the crowd, from an iPhone. We kind of get the gist of it. I want to talk a little bit about like the conversation around it.
Yeah.
because I feel it's like a fairly like crazy polarizing one. Like if we couldn't have gotten more polarizing.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of takes on the socials.
man.
I've only seen two.
It's brutal out there. No,
I've
Yeah,
only
there's-
seen
there's-
two takes.
Yeah, there's only two sides you're really picking.
The how did he miss?
yeah, I feel
And then the he's a
Crazy.
hero.
Yeah.
No,
God
but
protected him.
each one of those has its own rabbit trails because
Yeah.
on the I'll
I
say
guess
like
it builds
left leaning
off of
side, it
those
starts
two.
there. Like people immediately going like, should have, wish he didn't miss. Oh, the wind, and it's like. Then people going, no, like political violence is wrong. And then other people being like, no, political violence is not wrong. How can you be upset about this when, there's still violence happening in Palestine? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's so like down a road that
I
is
was
not even
seeing
about anything anymore.
Why aren't we talking more about Palestine as much as we're talking about this right now?
And heard,
Yes.
right? Definitely
Right.
agree. But like, is that helpful to the conversation? That, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think anything's helpful to this conversation. It's something that happened and it's awful no matter what. If
Yes.
Biden was standing up there, it would be the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd get the
Ah.
same response from both sides.
I wonder if you would.
You would.
You're
You
saying
would.
You're saying flipped.
oh,
it
it
would be
flips?
flipped.
Totally. Totally.
I feel that like Biden doesn't have the same like he wouldn't have the same martyrdom. Like I feel
on that side. I see what
I feel
you're saying.
that
Yeah.
if Biden was shot at, we wouldn't be like, oh my God, he's a hero. Now we're for sure voting for
Oh, no,
him.
you're right. You're so
know?
right. Yeah, he
Got
doesn't
it.
have the like diehard. He has no diehard fans.
No,
No.
agree.
That like
I
he's
think
God's
have-
chosen
have
one.
only been fired up by this
Yeah.
thing where it's
Uh-huh.
like he's bulletproof now.
Yeah.
The man is bulletproof. John.
Yeah, I think. It's just a tough conversation because I think either like I think he missed stuff. He shouldn't have missed. Narrative is so awful. Like,
Sure.
I felt like when it happened, and I like immediately went to social media and I was like seeing all that we talked about, and I just felt like gross. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, really, like. Is that what we've come to? Like I'm not a fan of Trump in any way, shape, or form.
Did you send
know,
it to the
but
group chat?
I did because
You
I have
were
a friend-
literally.
John's on the
I
Google
swear,
alerts, man.
I swear you were the first one because I had
tell
to
you
break
why.
the news to everyone at Legoland.
John,
Let me tell you why.
John posted it
Let me tell you
before
why.
freaking the New York Times
Let me
did.
tell you why.
man.
I have a
That's crazy.
friend.
John was the one with the
I have
picture
a
of him
friend
with the fist in the air.
who literally texted me like he sent me the raw video of the live broadcast.
No.
And was like, this happened, and I went to Google it, and articles were posted 7 minutes prior.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, so then
Yeah.
I started like, then I started telling you guys because I was like, I just thought it was crazy, and yeah, I mean, there's so many things.
I will say
about it.
the What the Podcast group chat has a faster response time
Yeah.
than the New York Times did.
Literally.
I'm
Amazing.
telling
Literally.
you.
Amazing.
It was
But yeah,
crazy.
so I think like it's an awful incident, and I hope, which is, I know it's not going to be the reality, is that
Right.
it like neutralizes a lot of this tension. I think there are people saying that, but I don't know that it will. Unfortunately,
It is hard because it's putting some people on a pedestal.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
You mean Donald Trump? Who's
No.
it putting on a pedestal?
Those who are in favor on that side. They're kind of like look at us, we're unbeatable.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
giving
Like
them
that.
some legitimacy.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and my brother said something kind of interesting, and I think it's in perspective that I didn't even consider. He's like, I really hope that somebody doesn't go after Biden next. And
Yes, in retaliation.
Also had,
Yeah, and I was
I
like-
also had the thought though of, I know they're going to bump up security so much more now because of
Oh,
all
it's
of the
insane.
mistakes they made.
Yeah.
But literally, I was like, oh, there's going to be some
See, they're
copycats
giving
that are going to try.
RFK, Secret Service now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
People are like, somebody had to be almost
So
get killed for
insane.
RFK to get Secret
Literally,
Service.
That's rough.
all of the stuff
so wild.
that went wrong. My dad was talking about it because
Yeah.
dad, cop, and whatever.
Yeah,
the
same.
woman,
security detail.
The woman security, when it happened, she number one, fled.
Okay, wait.
She hid
talking
herself before going after Trump to
It's just
protect him.
Secret Service.
Yeah, it was the woman in the Secret Service.
Interesting. Okay.
Which sucks for women, but you know.
Yeah, that's
She literally
Just what we need.
She turned away instead of jumping after him.
Yeah.
When she grabbed her gun, she couldn't find her holster to put it back.
Yeah,
I did see
And
Yeah,
dad was like, that is the number one thing is you know where your holster is.
Yeah.
No matter what. It is like a no think.
so. What was it? Her first day on the job, or
Well, my
No.
dad. So my dad is like loves the Secret Service. Watched a bunch of documentaries, read a bunch of books about it.
So rough
He
day
was
for
saying-
for Dan.
He was yeah.
day.
He was yeah. He was pretty.
Like, boys, what were we? What were
He
we
was
thinking?
saying that Secret Service, because it's such like a grab and go job, like there are some people that are assigned to presidents, and that's a steady, consistent job.
Sure.
But a lot of these jobs are like
Event.
get your bag and you're going to Pennsylvania, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, they don't get a lot of training. Like they get training initially to like how to like the basics, but like in terms of their scenario is always changing. You know, it's like one day it's a rally in Pennsylvania, and the next day it's like
So,
you know an arena. And
Are
so-
Secret Service guys former cops? Are
A lot
they
of them
like
are former military.
upgraded cops? Are they former military?
More military, yeah.
I always thought it was a branch of the military. Like
Oh, a
Secret
branch?
Service
A
was
full
well,
branch?
not like a branch, but like a department at least
It's
of
its
like
own agency, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's there was a lot of things about the scenario too that I was like, oh man, like probably coincidence, but bad luck. Like the director of the Secret Service was appointed by Biden, and she prior to becoming the director of Secret Service was a CEO of a major cereal company. Like,
No.
like has no military or law
Interesting.
enforcement
That's wild.
background. And so, but she and my dad was saying a lot of these positions are political. They're
I was
they're
going
not
to say to
expecting
be
you-
CEO, is it more like managerial?
Yeah, it's I
Right.
mean, and I'm sure that's probably true about this. She's not making calls about how to train, you know, Secret Service.
Yeah.
she's saying like, this is how much money we have to spend,
Yep.
and you know, whatever.
Right.
But
It's more
but
corporate.
she, I guess, submitted a request 5 days prior to reduce Trump's Secret Service detail, and I'm like,
Whoa.
again, probably just a coincidence, but like bad luck.
Because
yeah, there's
Look,
so many
look,
little
there hasn't
coincidences
been-
like that.
of Donald Trump's entire, I mean, his whole presidency, there wasn't like an assassination attempt.
Yes, totally.
This is the first presidential assassination attempt since Ronald Reagan. So it's not like it again, it's I think John's cam went out. It's not
Click it again.
like you said, it's like probably a coincidence. It's like, you know, a shot in the dark that happened to happen
Yes.
at that
Well, what's
time.
crazy is it wasn't
Or
the amount
is
of
it?
Secret Service. It was the
It was the
the
response.
horrible response because the Secret Service saw this man with a sniper 3 minutes before it happened.
Okay.
There were people on another roof who were watching him, and it came out that they kept radioing Secret Service saying,
There's a guy on the roof.
"There's a guy on the roof with a sniper. What do we do? What do we do?" And they kept saying, "Wait, wait, wait, wait."
There was
And
there
he
was
got
people in
8
the
rounds.
crowd.
Yeah,
there was people in the
they were
crowd who
yelling.
saw him before
I
he took
think
any
there's
shots.
someone up there.
And,
That's the
yeah.
that's the weird thing. It's
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah,
what's the deal
I
with
asked,
that?
I was wondering about that too. My brother was saying that sometimes, like, if you went to like a random police officer at that event and was like, "Hey, there's a sniper on the roof," you know, Secret Service has counter surveillance snipers, and so I think
Yeah.
the cops, if you were just going to like a Joe Schmo like cop that's working the beat, local cop, he probably would in his head, his brain is going like, "Oh, they're just seeing the counter
Sure,
sniper
sure.
team." And so yes, there was a lot of there, but yes, it was bad. And that, but they
Yeah.
they were watching him because that's why they.
What's
they were able
crazy
to
is the
fire
counter
back so
sniper team is
quickly.
like you can see them.
Yeah.
There were 3 of
sure.
them or 2 of them on the roof with all of this equipment, And then the actual shooter was like on his stomach with one.
And the guy happened to be in a
Normal
spot where they
clothes.
couldn't see him. And
It's just I was just talking about this. I feel like it's one of those things where like you can never be fully prepared, you know?
yeah.
Like I know it seems like, oh yeah, why did they see it? Whatever. But there was like that like 10,000, 15,000 people there.
Yeah.
And it's like I just feel like sometimes that's just the way the world works. Like some guy sneaks by,
Yeah.
with a gun, and like and it's awful, but like
series of
it just,
human errors.
It just
Yeah.
happens, and it's
Yeah.
it's really bad. But
And-
When was Reagan?
the 80s.
you want to hear my dad again, big Secret Service buff.
Yeah.
He has a story of the last time there was almost a major incident.
Sure.
Prior to post Reagan.
You talking about the shoe thing with Bush?
No.
That guy threw his shoes at
So
Bush?
George H. Bush. So George
Senior.
W's, yeah, senior. He was at a rally, just
Read
like
my
Trump,
lips.
just like Trump. Like at a rally, and some guy, like just nonchalantly throws a grenade on stage.
Yeah.
But the fuse was bad, so it never went off.
Whoa.
So Secret Service just like went out, grabbed it, came back, and had it analyzed, and nobody ever knew that
Wow.
like George H. was literally
Close to being
a
blown out.
fuse away from
Yeah.
dying.
That's wild.
And I'm like, talk
I
about
remember hearing about that.
the statistics of that. Like,
I
the
was
fact
wondering,
that
'cause
how
I
many
was like-
grenades are defaulty, and then he happens to grab the one that's
I mean,
defaulty.
some
It's like,
grizzly old war vet has a old grenade in his garage.
Right.
Or his son or somebody gets it and is like, I'm going to do it.
I was
And
wondering,
then
I was like, how
fails
many
miserably.
presidential assassination attempts can you live through in one life? And like now our parents have lived through two.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, when was Kennedy assassinated? 60.
60s.
my parents have
My
lived through
parents, my
there-
parents
so there you
weren't
have
born
it.
yet then.
And then there was that Bush thing with the shoe.
3. Uh-huh.
Threw that
And then
shoe
there
at him.
was
So like 3.5.
Thomas Roosevelt.
That's that show, Assassins. On Broadway is about all the
okay.
presidential assassins.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, I didn't know
Crazy.
that.
63.
Yeah, the
Within a-
wild
Yeah, go
wild
ahead.
thing too is like it's heartbreaking the man that ended up losing his life was
Definitely.
it's terrible.
Yes.
Definitely.
But like the thing that's so wild to me is that the wife refused a call from the president. Like Biden called her and she refused to speak to him. Which
of course
is like
she did. She was at a Donald Trump rally.
But it's so I'm like I
F
don't
Joe
know
Biden.
I don't know of any other time in history where it's like the literal president
the president's calling.
is calling and you're like
Send it
no
to voicemail.
it's so and like
wild.
that I feel like that just speaks so much to like how bad it's
Yeah,
gotten.
it's just got
Where
really
you're-
tough.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, certainly, like with something this, like you said, like in reality, a series of human errors.
Yes.
But initially following, we all go to conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
a few takes of like, oh, Biden put out a hit on Donald Trump. I even saw a few, oh, this was all planned by Donald Trump so he could get, sympathy and
There's some
he could look really
sketchy
good
people
about
behind him
it. Can you
who
imagine?
literally go down before the gun even goes off, and you're like, how did you know?
Yeah, everybody's analyzing the video and they're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, what?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I
I-
will say, unfortunately, those pictures came out. He looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. He's got blood coming out of his ear. He's got a fist up in the air.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is when you first watch the video, I'm thinking, I'm not the guy to break through Secret Service to like reassure people I'm okay. You're getting me out of
Yeah,
there. I'm
100%.
like I'm in the fetal position, and they're literally carrying me out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not getting back up. Like that is a bold move
because
by
the
Trump.
man is to a fault a performer. We forget that the man was in Hollywood. Okay, he knew exactly.
He's an
His-
egomaniac, and it's like
He put his fist up
He
in the
knew
air and
he
then
had
he
a
said,
photo
"Wait,
op.
let me get my shoes.
me
I
get-
forgot my
Yeah.
shoes."
crazy.
God.
Listen, and I saw this whole interview with the guy that took that now kind of infamous picture. And he's a New York Times photographer, and he's been photographing presidents like his whole career. And it's
20
like
years, yeah.
really impressive body of work. It's amazing. But like he was talking about how this picture is such a historical moment, but like it's now going to be kind of used as this like propaganda almost. Like
Yeah.
publishing this photo as opposed to like pushing that one to the top because it's getting views and stuff
Yeah.
versus like publishing a photo that was a little more true to life, you know? And yeah, it's just kind of like makes me think about that Civil War movie that we saw, where like what kind of story are you inherently telling by taking like this photo as opposed to like a different photo, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the honesty of journalism and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was an awful thing no matter what. I wish that there was a little more unity over it, and we might see that happen in the next couple of weeks. But
Yeah.
it's like something like this, even like when you go back to Kennedy being assassinated, it's like that changed the course of like the climate, you know, in the terms of like people were like, hey, this isn't you and me, like us and them anymore. This is like, you know, we're supposed to be working together on this, and I think
think we're living in a very different world.
100%.
than
But I'm
that.
saying like something like this, which is again similar, not the same, but similar in the sense that like a president was millimeters away from literally being killed on live
Yeah.
television. You know what I'm saying?
I think if he was killed, we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like the whole conversation would be going in a different direction. I
Yeah.
feel that, I don't know. Now he's still here. And now it's like he's going to, you know, be the martyr and he's going to.
I already think it's so crazy
Probably
because
gonna-
immediately it was like, oh, the shooter was a Democrat. Like they hated Trump. Blah, blah, blah. This man was a registered Republican.
Yeah.
However,
Gun owner.
there is a TikTok video circulating that he posted a long time ago of him being like, I hate Republicans. I
Right.
hate Trump.
Right.
yeah, he
And in
donated to
reality-
Democratic, big Democratic campaigns too.
Add
I
it
think
to the
he-
list. It like that's probably not even why he did it.
Yeah.
The man obviously like anyone that does this
Yeah.
goes out and you know tries to kill anyone, tries to shoot anyone with a gun. Mm-hmm. There is some sort of mental
Yeah.
illness happening.
Well, the whole
there.
thing was like, on the news, they were like, they're trying to find a motive. It's like, the motive was hate and then also
Sure.
an imbalance in the brain.
But we all, you know, the collective we go, oh well, this
Yeah.
must have been politically motivated.
Right. So what was he registered as? Like
Yes.
that was the
Was
craziest
he-
thing is people were asking that question like minutes after.
Yeah.
Like was he Republican or Democrat?
Was he on our
Whoa.
side or their side?
Yeah.
Because
right.
if he is on our side, then like okay,
and then when
but
they
if he
heard
was
it
on
was
their
Republican,
side,
they were like, well,
yeah,
Yeah.
exact. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's tough. Definitely a weird situation.
let me tell you, even weirder with
Go
the
ahead.
news coming out while working at a theme park.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
really?
Ooh.
Was that
It was
scary?
kind of the same as when Trump was first elected while I was
Okay.
at musical theater college. Same response.
Energy.
Same vibe.
Energy, crazy. Yeah.
Were you
Really?
in a blue room?
Go ahead.
Literally, one
What were
thing that
people
was crazy
saying?
was like an hour after it happened, and we were already all talking about it. I was walking out to do my set, and a random other Legoland worker had just gotten off of her break. She was in like food and beverage or something, and she literally looked at our group and was like, "Did you guys hear what happened?" And we were like, "You're an hour late, girl." But it was
Too
just
busy
like
being a Lego.
it was very, you
Very
know, just,
moment in history.
yeah,
Yeah.
and over the top, and you know,
Yeah.
theater people.
Theater people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's ready for some precedented times?
I
can't wait
would
for
really
those.
love some precedented times. I'm sick and tired of these unprecedented times.
Literally sick. That's crazy.
So, I mean, that's it.
What does it all
That's
mean?
the definitive take, right? We have microphones, therefore, we're right.
Thank you. I feel like
Thank
no
you.
no real opinion was stated, so we're right on that. That's a
yeah.
good thing.
It's all just so fascinating to
It's
watch,
wild.
and just like any other like thing that happens in government in the United States, like we're gonna see it turn into a different conversation over the next couple of weeks. We're still not even a week out from this happening, and you know they just chose Donald Trump as the Republican nominee.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He chose his VP.
chose his
Yeah,
VP.
he's been chosen for a while.
Who, VP, 39,
Oh, young
and
guy.
just served his freshman year
Yeah. Listen.
of senator.
Listen. Not
That's
a
so
Republican.
crazy.
Won't be voting Republican, but young person in the White House. Awesome.
Love.
Sure.
Love.
Bring it on.
Isn't
Young
the
people in
age
the White
36?
35. You got to be 35 years old.
35.
Michael, you could be president.
Yeah, coming up September.
Yes,
It's gonna happen.
this year.
Whoa.
There's still time. You could turn 35, and then in November you can get elected.
Why
Perfect.
35? I don't think any president
Get
was
elected.
younger than 50.
Not true.
My favorite.
I think some early
is-
ones were.
Early ones
I
were, yeah.
recently found out that there's a like there's a lot of people who run for president, a lot of which don't make the ballot, but there's like small like debates in all major states where these presidential candidates have like a live stream debate on Facebook.
I love it.
And it is so funny. There's this guy that's been like running every year, every chance he gets for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And he wears a boot on his head.
Yes.
What's his name? I can't
Oh
remember
my
his name.
gosh, I can't remember. He's my favorite.
I just watched like little clips from TikTok, and I'm like, man, awesome. Like
He's
like,
my favorite for the bit.
If only.
Like it's just such a good
If
bit.
only.
Like what? One of us should run for president. That's hilarious.
Youngest person to ever become president. Carrie, you weren't far off. He was 42.
It's Obama.
It was Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh really?
Oh.
Yep.
Teddy.
He was succeeded to the office after the assassination of President McKinley.
Interesting.
Oldest person ever to become president, Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was 78.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's. I mean, yeah. I mean, I was
Which
I was
he
gonna
will
say something
top-
kind of Annie, but
Which, do you know that no matter if Trump or Biden gets elected this year,
They will be
become
the oldest
The
president.
oldest.
Yeah.
yeah.
How has it come to that?
What about that boot guy? How old is he?
Oh, he's old. He's
He's
like
up
in
there.
his 80s.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Old dude.
So we've got no chance.
No.
Gosh.
What about that boot guy? I thought there was a lot of really good younger candidates on either side. I mean, I didn't see much of the Democratic side because I know Biden was kind of the guy.
He was, yeah, they
For
threw
most
him
of the
in.
time.
Who are you
But-
saying?
from the
Like Pete
gate.
But like
Buttigieg?
the Republican side, they had a lot of young guys. I'm like,
They
why
did.
didn't we go with
Pete
one of those
Buttigieg
guys?
could be, so he could match it. He's 42 right now. He's not going to get elected.
No.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
But
So
would
good.
be cool.
Love that guy.
Petey.
Betty. Can we end the show on a high note?
Yeah,
Do we
go
have
ahead.
anything good happening in the world? No, I'm asking.
That's a good question.
Is it possible?
Great question.
Annie's not here.
Woo! Oh wait, no, I miss Annie.
It was national. It was World Orca Day the other day.
Aren't you guys going to Hawaii soon?
Going to Hawaii next week.
Well, that's positive.
Next week.
Yeah.
John, what do you got?
I'm going to Hawaii next week too. Crazy.
Wait, what?
What?
That'd be crazy.
Yes.
I could.
Come with us.
That'd be crazy. Unless-
I'll tell you the same thing I tell Michael every time. It's an open invite.
Dude, we
So-
almost went last year.
I
I'm
know.
so bummed.
Annie almost
I
went
know.
this year.
I know.
And then she looked
Next
at her
year.
schedule.
Next
She's like,
year's
I
our
literally
year.
have two
Annie
Next
almost
year's
went
our
for
year.
about 30 seconds, and then she looked at her calendar and said, "Oh, I have 2 weddings next weekend."
She's
Wow,
always
Annie.
working.
She's a worker bee.
Always.
I
But
think my voice is kind of.
coming
No,
back to life. I
no.
can hear it.
It's
coming
fully back.
God.
You guys hear that? Ryan's voice.
Oh
is
my
back
gosh,
to
you
life.
guys. So should we start?
Yeah. So redo the podcast. Didn't that, I think that happened to John one
That
time.
was a rough cut, right?
Yeah, that was just a trial run. We
Yeah.
are gonna
Okay,
do
cool.
it for real this
Now
time.
we're gonna start over.
Cool.
Stronger takes.
John-
everything.
Yeah. So I was gonna say we could talk about lip sync, but Annie's not here. She won.
Yeah, I
and,
feel-
We
it
should
feels a
probably
little
save it for
wrong.
Next week, but we had a lot of fun. We could say
had a
that.
lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe we
Toga
talk about
party.
the post show a little bit. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Teasers.
Post show a little
Michael,
bit?
you ever been on the post show?
Yeah, the
Christmas.
Christmas.
Oh,
the
that
Christmas
was
cocktails.
technically-
Oh God.
That time we had to cut the episode in
Oof.
half.
And
because
it had
so
to be a
bad.
post show.
It got so out of
Why do we have
control.
to do that?
'Cause
That
we were
got kinda
drunk.
crazy.
Because it got
because
crazy.
I personally said a lot of things that I didn't want on the internet.
That's fair.
So
I mean, now it's on the internet. Though.
It was
No, it's-
that was like a Game
It's
Boys
behind a
level
paywall.
of paywall.
I mean, you have to pay to see
Okay,
it,
well, the
but
Game Boys paywall
it's
is
much higher.
we haven't reached it yet because
actually,
none of that is
nobody
even
can pay for it.
No one's even there.
John, do you know what's coming out?
What's up?
New Mario Party game.
Oh,
Yeah, I sent it to both of you.
Game Boys
I sent
are
it to
back.
both of you.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be live streaming in a Patreon near you.
Yeah,
So true.
definitely.
Could
Can we
you
do that?
imagine?
Behind a
We
paywall?
can live stream Patreon.
Sweet.
We can.
Pretty awesome.
All right.
So we'll talk. We'll
the
talk
post show.
Game Boys on the post show next week. We'll talk Annie on lip sync. Folks, we want to thank you for watching, listening. If you made it this far, you're a real one. And so,
are.
why don't you make that official by paying us for $4 a month? You can support What the Podcast through our Patreon. You'll get access to
Hey.
the post show. You'll get access to merch drops. Maybe a little behind the scenes every now and then. Really should start filming those again. Go down to the bio and check that out. Link to the Patreon, as well as a link to Michael's new music coming out this week,
Yeah, Friday.
Ooh.
July 19th. That's probably, by the time this gets posted, tomorrow, Friday. So get out to the show. Surge Coffee. Doors open at 5. get yourself a little coffee cocktail and listen to the new one by Michael, Butterflies.
Yes, thank you. Very
Hit the summer jam.
excited.
Hit the summer jam.
What's that?
Hit the summer
Oh,
jam.
hold
to
on.
Close this out, all right?
Where is
Where
that
is
one?
it? There
Hey,
it is.
hey, hey.
Hey. Wow.
Michael, any final thoughts?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Don't assassinate people.
Oh, good. That's good.
That's
That
some
is
good
my
advice.
final thought.
Good
advice.
clarification. Good
I feel like
clarification.
that's just a good day one rule from the jump.
Yeah.
No assassinations.
Yeah, totally.
You didn't sound super.
No, I agree. 100%. 100% agree.
Can you look at the camera when you say that?
I 100% agree.
Just
No
as a
assassinations.
disclaimer.
He has glasses on. You can't see his eyes.
I 100%
We don't know
agree.
what his eyes are.
His eyes are
No
closed.
assassinations. Thank you.
Okay, he's done around though. On the couch as always, Kara Tafoya, Michael the Pin, pinning. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
We'll see you next week on
What the Podcast?
That's
What the
we do.
podcast?
That's what we do.
That's the thing we
Michael,
do.
That's right, I forgot.
191 episodes.
I saw Michael go and then.
I was like,
Just
am I going
gave
to
up.
say it? No.
That's fine.
Oh, love it here. I
Love
it
it here.